Hello girls. This class we are going to study about the consumer behavior. Very interesting topic and very easy to understand also. Because you know who are consumers? We are all consumers. Who are all buying the goods, they call it as a consumer. So when the consumer get the maximum satisfaction or utility, about that, how he is getting that utility, how he is getting the satisfaction, how much income is taking, what type of combination goods is taking, all that we'll study with the diagrams. Very interesting topic. So when the consumer will get the maximum satisfaction utility, so what how he is getting, okay, what is utility and what is satisfaction, you should know first. What is utility? Utility means power or capacity to satisfy wants. So utility means power or capacity to satisfy the wants. That is called utility. And utility is very well subjective. So we cannot what is mean subjective. It will differs from person to person. It will not be same for everybody. Since it is differs, how we can able to calculate utility? So for that we have two approaches there. What are the two approaches? Cardinal and ordinal. Cardinal and ordinal. Cardinal means I'll tell you 1, 2, 3, 4 like that we can measure. We can able to do. Ordinal. Ordinal means that we can make the ranking first, second, third like this. Two approaches, cardinal approach and the ordinal approach given by the Marshall. Marshall was telling about the price. You cannot measure in terms of the price. So we are using these two approaches, cardinal approach and the ordinal approach. Okay, we'll see what it is. Cardinal. Cardinal is the approach given, we call this approach as utility approach also. Approach is given by Marshall. I told you this utility measured in terms of numbers here. This approach, utility approach, we are measuring in terms of the numbers. How seeing the consumer's behavior through the purchase, we can come to know. Suppose consumers bought 20 and 10. 20 apple he has bought and 10 oranges he has bought. So from this we can able to see that for the particular consumer, utility is more for apple, less for the orange. So measuring in terms of the numbers. This approach is called utility approach. Other approach is ordinal. This is given by modern economist J.R. Hicks. Here they are not happy with the measurement of utility in terms of numbers. They are measuring in terms of the comparison. For example, ranks, preferences. For example, 1, 2, like that they are comparing measuring the utility in terms of the ranks and preferences. For example, same example, a particular consumer prefer to buy more apple than orange. That means he is giving first preference for apple, then for compared to the orange. Like that, that preferences. So they are not using the numbers. Here they are using the numbers. This is the thing. So we are in this, from this basic, we are going to study about the other indifference curve approach, budget set, budget line, all this we are going to see. Already I taught you in the class the utility, 3 types of utility: initial utility, marginal utility and the total utility. And law of diminishing marginal utility theory also I explained you. You know the diagram also very well. Already I have done like that. You know what is initial, what is marginal and what is the total. And what is the law of diminishing marginal utility given by Goosen and the Marshall. So next we are going to see about the demand, one individual demand, particular law of demand, all that we'll see. Demand. So what is demand? Demand means desire. What is desire? Willingness. Only willingness will create a demand in the market. So what else they require? Ability to pay. So to want demand means we can say that desire to buy, ability to pay and willingness to pay also. If 3 comes in, we can say it's a demand. So always demands connect with the time and price. What is it? Given period of time and given period of price. So any particular consumer consumes in a market with a given such a certain quantity of goods at a given time and given price, we call it as a demand. There are 4 determinants of demand is there. So what is the first determinants of demand? Price. You know the price of the commodity. Second determinant is the price of related goods. Price of related goods. What is the third determinant? That is income. Income of the consumer. Because ability to pay. Yes, you should have the money to buy the goods. That is income. Then fourth is a preference or taste and preference. These are the 4 determinants of demand. There are 2 more questions, ma. You should remember that. The determinants of demand. So what are the determinants? Price, price of related goods, income, taste and preference. So the next is demand function. What is the demand function? Showing the relationship between the demand and determinants, we call it as a demand function. That it can be expressed in the algebraically QD. QD means quantity demanded. This is a function of, first one is what? Price, P. What is second one? Price related. That is we have to mention PR. What is the third one? Income. That we are denoting in terms of M. What is the taste and preference? We are denoting in terms of T. So the quantity demanded is a function of P, PR, M and T. In this 4 determinants, which is very important one, price. That is why always demand, we are writing it. This quantity demanded is a function of price. Among all the determinants, the price is more important. That's why we are writing like this. So quantity demanded is a function of price. And I think I understood clearly, no? I did not repeat again. Okay, next we'll see. We have seen quantity demand is a function of price. So next we are going to see the law of demand. What is the law of demand? Law of demand shows the relationship between demand and the price. How it is a relationship? Both the inverse relationship, that is opposite relationship. That is when the demand increases, what will happen to the price? Price increases, what will happen to demand? Demand will decrease. When the price decreases, what will happen to demand? Demand will increase. That is, other thing being equal, other thing remaining constant. What is the other thing remaining constant? Other determinants are there, no? Price of related goods, income of the consumer, taste and preference, that are all constants. We are talking only about the price. So, when the other thing remaining constant, when the price of good increases, demand for it decreases. When the price of good decreases, demand for those commodity will increase. That is called law of demand. Then the demand I can explain that through the diagrams. For example, price and the demand. Price is, when the price is less, demand is more. When the price is more, demand is less. So the demand curve, how the law of demand curve will come like this, no? This is the price and this is the quantity demanded. The curve will come like this. How we can match this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. So 1 means 4. 2 like that, no? So this curve always, as demand curve, it slopes downwards. Always slopes downwards. This is a law of demand. So law of demand means you have to write the definition. Other thing being constant, price of the commodities increases, demand for it decreases. The price of commodities decreases, demand for the commodity will increase. And you have to write this table and this diagram. This is individual law of demand curve. And this market means we are talking about all the consumers. Here we are taking consideration of only the one consumer. Thank you.